Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. We are doing a preview of a new league. You're an interesting league that we've spoken about, on the show before with the man Blunt Ted. This is Grassroots. The event is a big event for the league. Got a very exciting 2-on-2 atop it and a lot of interesting battlers throughout the card. So we're going to just go through that card today. Just before we do, please follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. Get in touch with me on the email battlerapresume@gmail.com if you want to come on the show. Patreon. If you want to support us, that is always there, as you know, and we are always grateful. Patreon.com/BattleRapResume. Leave us a review on iTunes, subscribe, comment, tell more people about the show if you enjoy the show. Thank you so much for listening. And we are here with Grazza. How's it going, man?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. How are you?
I'm well, bro. And, I've got to be honest, you're someone that I'm not too familiar with as a battler, no offense intended. I've watched a few here and there, through guests that I've had on the show. You had your sort of debut against Blunt Ted, which I'm sure we mentioned as well. But give us a little quick history, man. How long have you been battling? How'd you get into it?
So I went to I'd watched it online and everything, obviously, like everyone starts out doing.
Oh yeah.
And my first event was actually Rebellion, Clash Money's first event.
Okay.
Because it was Nottingham. I was living in Peterborough at the time, and it was the closest to me. And obviously, Euphorical versus Blizzard. Didn't want to miss it. And I spent a chunk of the day, like most of the day, with Yunan, who was battling Tally, Steph, the interview girl who used to do the Don't Flop interviews, and Spit semis. And then I think Euphorical emailed me on Twitter one time and it was like, we're doing tryouts. He remembered me from the event, and I was just like, yeah, why not, sort of thing. And then it just went from there really. And then, like you said, battle Blunt Ted. Yeah,
that's all you need. But you battle a lot on King of the Ronalds as well. Clash Money, as you say. Battle Tidal, battle Drowned. What are you looking to get out of battle rap? I mean, are you going to threaten the KOTR chain or?
No. For me, which is the main reason I'm helping Ted with this first event, is it's something I like doing as a hobby, man. And if I can do it in my own city where I live in Nottingham, even better, sort of thing. So it's more just something for me to just show my mates and, just a laugh, really. I don't take myself that seriously at all.
Sure. And, how did you get involved with the league itself, helping it?
It was, so obviously the first... Ted reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to battle on it, and I was like, yeah, of course. So I was meant to battle Magic Mike on the first two events, and certain people in there, like, they accepted a battle, and then off hype, and then they sort of realised that it's a new league and they're not going to get there's not going to be a lot of people. Yeah. Hopefully now we've put on a decent card, but they wanted more than what we could offer them, so they all decided last minute to drop out, sort of thing. I know quite a few people in Nottingham who do. There's quite a lot of people on the card are from Nottingham, so I said I'd help him put his first event on with people I know will turn up, just to get some views, just to get something out there, so it's going to entice more people in, really.
And, let's get into this card. This is the 12th of May, from 3 o'clock, £5 entry, which is very reasonable. I don't know Nottingham. I don't think I've actually ever been there in my life, but El Capo is where this is going down. Briefly about the venue, Grazza, what's it like in there?
So anyone who's watched a Clash Money, it was Holt versus Soljitsu on Clash Money for an event they did there. Called Hockley Hustle. It's the same event used for there, so it's just an open floor. It's a function room above El Capo, and it's just a decent space with a stage and a bar. It's a tequila bar. So yeah, it's a tiny little venue, and it's right in the middle of the town centre as well. So
Tubbs is facing off against Bill the Pot Man.
Yeah.
I'm going to plead ignorant here. Don't know anything about these guys. Love Bill the Potman's name especially. How's this matching up?
So Tubbs is a guy that used to battle on Clash Money, and when I first met him, I think he was only about 15. So he wasn't the most experienced guy. But when I just messaged a few people from the old Clash Money days, and he was one of the people that replied. Bill the Potman is CY's one of CY's best friends. But yeah, Tubbs is if you ever seen his Clash Money battles, he's entertaining, but he's not that great as a lyricist.
Right. Well, I'm intrigued there. Again, Strutt versus Slick L Fresh. Who are these guys?
This is one that Blunt Ted's put together. Strutt, I believe it's called Jack on Facebook. Was again one of the people, I believe, that dropped out of the last two cards, but Blunt Ted wanted to give him another chance. And Strick L Fresh is again, he's a tryout that Blunt Ted's found, so I'm not too sure about either of them myself.
CY I'm familiar with. He's facing Conspiracy. This is the guy whose whose life was ruined by Blunt Ted.
Yeah, I mean, it was weirdly enough, I bumped into CY because we both live in Nottingham, and a night out about 3 days before Ted asked me to get involved with the league.
Right.
And we were just talking about it, and he was saying that he'd want to battle again if he had the chance and things like that. And he had a lot of real life stuff going on, which is why he wasn't battling. So as soon as I found out about, Ted's asked me to help on the league, I thought I've got to get CY involved, just purely for their two's sort of history, really.
And Conspiracy, what's he like as a battler?
Conspiracy is actually one of he's a friend of mine. He's never actually battled before, but he is very, very sort of musically talented. He sings and plays the guitar and does a lot of open mic nights. Really, really intelligent guy. I'm expecting sort of good things from him. He's very sort of like Harry Baker-esque sort of.
Right.
That kind of. He's very funny, and he's a very clever guy, and I think he'll do well if he understands battle rap quite well for a poetry guy. So hopefully I see good things with that battle.
Rubik's versus TKP is the follow-up.
Yeah. Again, these are two guys that have never battled before.
Okay.
That were supposed to, as far as I'm aware, supposed to battle on the original first two cards. Obviously, the first time Nottingham train station got burnt down, so that didn't happen. And then the second time, people like Blitz getting a bit too big for their boots and cancelling last minute.
Okay.
But them two were supposed to battle before, from what I understand.
And Leadership versus JD James. Shout out to JD James. I know he's a loyal Battle Rap Resume listener, and I know he's been battling recently as well. I was quite impressed by his stuff, actually, having Dub Scandal. I thought he had some, impressive writing structurally, especially. Versus Leadership, who I hear good things of. I've got to, again, showing my ignorance here, but how's this matchup for you?
So I've only seen Leadership's battle with, he battled Blunt Ted.
Right.
And that went sort of, I believe that was one of his first battles, and it wasn't by any means like a body, but Blunt Ted convincingly beat him. JD James as well. He's such a, I don't know him on a one-to-one level, but I see him pretty much. He's the one person that sort of stuck with what Lee's trying to do what Blunt Ted's trying to grow. He's a full believer in it, and definitely in terms of commitment. If he keeps, like you said, his dub battle, his writing was really well. If he's committed to improving as he is to supporting, then I definitely see him doing quite well.
And I just had him on the show for his very own Battle Rap Resume. Shout out Magic Mike. You're facing Magic Mike, Grazza. How do you write for someone like this?
You know what? It's the most difficult thing to write for Magic Mike, because there's so many things, but it's one of those where it's nothing that he wouldn't happily rip himself about. So it's just trying to be a bit more creative with it and not necessarily go into as like a character assassination, because I don't think that'll work with Mike, because he's too much. It'd be too much like kicking a puppy, but
right.
He's very hard to write for. Like, there's so many angles, but at the same time, you've got to really come different than anyone else would to beat Magic Mike, I think, because it is one of those things where even when he loses, I think he still wins a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. He's often the more memorable in whatever battle he's in. And
I think the thing to do is just do Magic Mike better than Magic Mike does. Yeah.
It's a good philosophy. Just do Magic Mike. I think everyone could learn from that. Blunt Ted versus Drowned is the penultimate match. Obviously, Blunt Ted, great friend of the show. We've went through his career, quite a few times now, and he's got some, unbelievable performances. Drowned, this is a good look for Drowned, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think Drowned, I've battled Drowned before, and he's quite, I think he's coming to himself a bit more. I mean, he started out as like a bit of a C major wannabe, and then he kind of became a little bit of a Quill, and now he's sort of found his own sort of style, which and I fuck with it a lot. And I think he's one of them guys as well, which he's so supportive, man. Like, shout out Drowned all the time. He was straight on it as soon as I asked him. He was like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and I said, "I'll give you Blunt Ted." To be fair, he didn't want to really battle Blunt Ted because he finds him hard to write for, but I think it's going to be an amazing battle. Like, there's such a style clash, really. I'm really looking forward to that battle.
And we build to the headline match, which has Dirty Walls and Pest on one side of this 2-on-2, and then Most Prob and Fighter. What an improbable pair.
Well, yeah. I mean, the way it came about is Most Prob put a status up, basically saying he wanted to do a 2-on-2 with Fighter, and then Ted jumped on it straight away. We promised, we arranged it with Most Prob, made sure he was happy, and then as soon as we kind of asked a couple people, Pest and Dirty Walls both sort of jumped at the chance of doing it. Most Prob told us earlier on, actually, that he turned down all expenses paid battle in Florida to do this battle with Fighter in Nottingham, which is pretty fucking amazing.
Damn. Yeah, that's impressive, and I'm not seeing much of Fighter, really. I think the battle in Manchester was lost, wasn't it? So there isn't too much. I know he's done some freestyle videos online, and the hype is unreal, and cool to see Dirty Walls coming back. Pest from Coventry's on the come up, I know as well. This could be the cherry on top of a very good day.
Yeah, I think that's it. It just gives the whole event a bit more clout. I think having someone like Most Prob on there, it sort of validates putting the event on, in my opinion, which is obviously when the league started, Ted wanted to keep it all about the tryouts, but I think he's kind of started to see the light now, and we put a few bigger names on the card, and it's going to draw more people in. But I think that's set to be, again, I've only seen what Fighter's got on Facebook in terms of like battle wise and his bars, but he's definitely got something there. He's very like, in the same way as Magic Mike, I think what he does outside of battles is going to be just as entertaining as inside. But it's definitely going to be an amazing battle.
And can people get tickets online, or is it just at the door?
Ted's looking into getting some online tickets. That's sort of his area. I believe he's setting up a link to get tickets. There are going to be... he's in what we're trying to do is... set up a couple more battles and just have them as extra battles on the day, and just not announce them, sort of thing. Hopefully we've got something locked in that's going to be like pretty good. Not quite Most Prob and Fighter versus them two, but it's going to hopefully we've got a couple more battles to add on to the card as well. So as soon as that's all finalised, he's going to be releasing the tickets.
And how can people follow the league, the socials?
So it's just grassroots on everything, Twitter, and Facebook. I don't believe there's an Instagram, but yeah, just Grassroots.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll put all the links in the description below as well so people can follow the league. Looks to be a great card. Please, everyone listening who is in the area, who is interested, pick up tickets or go. I think it's going to be awesome. Grazza, this has been great, man. I guess finally, how do people get at you yourself?
It's that Grazza you on Instagram,
Right, of course.
And Grazza in HD on Twitter, and just if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's just Graham Grazza Edwards.
Yeah, this has been great, man. I really appreciate your time, and I want people to follow the league. We'll put all the links below. Follow battlerapresume as well, at battlerapresume, Patreon, iTunes, all that good stuff. But Grazza, again, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me, man.